Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Filmmaking Sucks.
Or does it?
It does.
It does this week.
This week it sucks.
This topic is
Yes, this one.
It's not really very fun.
No, it's not.
There's lots of risk, very little reward.
Very serious.
Yeah. This week we're going to talk about that favorite thing of every filmmaker out there, what we all think is going to make us rich and famous and give us the lotto ticket, film festivals. The main reason, one of the big reasons why we decided to do this is because this week we are premiering. Yes, this week it's on our mind. We are premiering our new film, Theta States, at the Macabre Faire Film Festival, Friday the 13th at 8:30 p.m. Please, everybody come.
Dun, dun, dun. I will be there as well.
You'll be there.
Yes.
Awesome. So we'll be premiering our film there.
Second feature film for Masquerade Pictures.
That's right.
And the first one to screen at Macabre Faire.
The first feature to screen.
First feature had Macabre.
You screened Emma's for Mastectomy there.
Yeah.
And Grub on Krampus.
Brain People and Krampus, everything. We've pretty much screened most of our big film, most of our recent movies other than Blood Slaughter.
I missed the deadline, but I don't know if I would have gotten in. I'm still screening Spies here and there, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's talk about some of the mistakes that people make.
Some
of the mistakes.
Some.
Well, we're not going to hit them all because we don't know them all yet. We haven't screwed up that bad yet.
That is
to
true.
know all the mistakes. So, some of the mistakes that people make when gets to film festivals with their movies.
The biggest one is not having a plan. And I know it seems completely crazy and completely overwhelming and mind-blowing and mind-numbing to even think about that.
That's a lot of mind.
But have a plan. I mean, really learn. It's going to take time. It's going to take experience, as always.
Okay, well, what kind of plan are you talking about?
I mean, everybody says it, and I think I'm a big believer of it now. But having a plan from the very beginning.
Okay.
What are you going to do with your movie? What film festivals are you looking to do? What are you looking to get from a film festival?
Okay. I think that's dependent upon what level of filmmaker you are.
Yeah.
What are you going to do with your movie? Now, everybody wants to let's start at the most basic level, and then we'll build up.
Right.
Start from the most basic level.
You've made your movie.
Number one, you're about to make your movie. You're about to make your movie because that's where you have to start.
If you're doing it right, yes.
You're about to make your movie, okay? And all right, you got a couple $1,000s. You're not going to make.
That's on another show budgeting.
Yeah,
but this is part of that, so it's a big part.
That's all I'm saying. Yeah, you got a couple $1,000s. You know, you got a couple of your friends over. You're gonna make a slasher, and your parents are away for the weekend, so you're
using the house, using the woods, using the park.
You're gonna just kill your friends over the course of 3 days with what you have. Okay, you're gonna spend $2,000 or $3,000 on some blood and some effects and
food,
pizza for you and your 10 friends for the course of the weekend. Okay,
and trust us when we tell you that $2,000 goes real fast.
Yes, it does. You're gonna shoot it on your cell phone, and you're going to you're gonna probably record the audio off of that, and bing, bang, boom, you have a $5,000 movie. Okay, you're gonna edit it on Windows Movie Maker or whatever. Again, we're talking most basic level.
Yeah.
What you want with your film is you want people to see it. You want to see it. You want other people to see it. You want your friends to see it. So you're gonna show it to all your friends at a party or whatever. You know,
might put it on YouTube.
Yeah, you might put it on YouTube. But before you even put it on YouTube or Vimeo, you can look at it like, you know what? Maybe you got lucky. Maybe you stumbled, not lucky, excuse me. Again, we hate that term, but
maybe the timing was right and you hit lightning in a bottle.
Maybe you got that lightning in a bottle and wow, this is actually pretty damn good.
Yeah.
And everybody gives you the feedback.
Everybody likes it.
Yeah.
And they're not just kissing your ass.
Number one, well, that's the thing. Number one, all your friends are going to kiss your ass.
Yeah. If they're in it, they're going to love it no matter what.
Your auntie is not going to give you a real critique.
Yeah, exactly. All of your friends and your family are going to tell you they love your movie. Do not listen to them.
No.
Do not listen to them. You go find that guy in high school who beats you up every single day because...
But still talks to you on Facebook randomly.
Yes, exactly. Friends. You let him see your movie. And if he likes it, you might have something.
You know what? Find your friend who has no filter.
Yeah, that one asshole friend that just tells you that
You're like, your
dude,
shoes are ugly and you're fat.
dude,
Yeah.
you're such a dick. That guy. Let him watch the movie.
And if
You know?
he gives you the stamp of approval, or
Yeah.
she,
Or at least says, you know what? It's really
It's
not
not
that
bad. It's not bad.
That's not bad.
Not bad is really what
That's what
really-
you're aiming for. That's what
we're
you're aiming for. Is
here.
not bad. Yeah,
Not
you're
bad.
aiming for not bad with your first movie. You're not aiming for great. You're not bad. Not bad. That's what you want out of the guy who doesn't know when to shut his mouth.
Yeah.
You know, you want that.
so you get that.
So you get the not bad. All right. Now you want to, all right, maybe we do some film festivals. Okay. There's your first mistake because you weren't thinking of it in the first place.
Yep. For example,
Because
if you put it on
film-
YouTube, guess what?
You can't enter film
You
festivals.
can't enter film festivals.
You know?
Yep.
If it's already available on YouTube, if short films are different.
Yeah.
Short films are
Full
different.
length, you cannot.
Feature films, yes, it cannot be available online or have been available online for 90% of the festivals out there.
Also, very, very minute chance that if you make a short film and you did hit lightning in a bottle and you do put it on YouTube, it is not... You don't have to ever worry about this, but in this case, because it's relevant to a short film out there now called Night of the Slasher, it is not Oscar contention viable. They waited to put it online or to distribute it because they won so many film festivals with that Night of the Slasher that they waited, and now it has Oscar contention.
Yeah. Yeah.
So again,
you
don't even think about that because it's not going to happen.
You
but
can
on the small chance,
again, those guys knew what they were doing. They had years of experience.
Yes.
They weren't. This wasn't their first. This wasn't their first rodeo.
just in case,
You know?
though, just in case.
Yeah. But yes, always keep that in mind. That you're probably going to want to do film festivals. You're
Yes.
probably going to want to. All right. Forget Sundance.
You are not
Especially
making
if
it to
you're doing-
Sundance.
especially
Your
if-
$5,000 feature is not making it to Sundance.
Especially if you're doing horror movies, you're not doing Sundance unless you have made the most incredible "Let the Right One In" Part 17. You know, you're making something on par with that.
Or VHS,
You know,
the first
Okay,
VHS.
so because we
Yes.
brought up Sundance,
you need something groundbreaking, different, original as hell. If you are going to get your horror movie into Sundance. Now, I'm talking horror movies because we make horror movies. That's who we're talking to. There's plenty of podcasts that really
Strictly filmmaking, drama, comedy.
yes, romantic films and typical mainstream films. Now, I'm not telling you stop listening to us and go listen to them. I'm just saying that there's a lot of people out there talking about that, and I'd rather focus on the horror, which a lot of them tend to look down on.
Yes, this
know?
is all about the positivity in our grotesque craft.
Yes.
Yes.
So don't think about Sundance because first off, you're going to have to go through Without a Box, and Without a Box pretty much owns your movie.
Yeah, if you upload it or give it to them,
If
you have next to no say.
you upload your film to Without a Box, here's the first thing. Without a Box is a service that allows you to submit to multiple film festivals in one shot. Okay, instead of going to the film festival directly, you submit through Without a Box and you pay the fees for the film festivals. Once you upload your film to Without a Box, all right, it's there and it's in a private, secure screener that only the film festivals can see. Now, Without a Box is owned by IMDb. Okay, that is the same thing. So as soon as you submit to a festival, any festival through Without a Box, you can automatically get yourself an IMDb name for an IMDb title page for your film. Awesome. Because if you are a nobody with a known movie, you are not getting on IMDb for quite some time.
Takes
Your
roughly...
movie will be rejected many times
Yeah.
unless your film is completed.
Yes, and you
right.
have press for it.
Yes.
You need at least 2 separate website sources that
Yep.
aren't your website.
There is a workaround for that. Okay, Louis used it. All right. The workaround for that is if you are making your movie, it's your first movie. Let's say
I got Pandemonia on IMDb.
How did you get Pandemonia on IMDb?
I asked for favors.
And what did you do? You know the workaround then.
I do.
You're a nobody. You've never made a movie. You've never been on IMDb. You have nothing. But
You have a friend.
You had us, who was already on IMDb. You had Brad, who was already on IMDb.
I had credits, but only as an actor.
Yeah, but as production, Brad Coe was already on IMDb. Massgrave Pictures we are already established production companies on IMDb. The fact that our name ended up in the credits of Pandemonia when you submitted, you automatically were allowed to put your movie up, even though you're nobody. Yeah. That is the workaround. You're going to make a movie of nobody. You know one person who's made a movie and he has his movie on IMDb. Find a way to let him put his name on your film, and you will get IMDb credit.
That's why they created producing credits.
Yes.
Executive producer, associate producer.
Yes. That's why that's what those are for. Now, as soon as you submit to your first film festival, that film is officially on Without a Box for eternity. It cannot ever be deleted from their database as soon as you submit to one film festival through Without a Box. It can never be taken down. Understand that. Your movie is there forever now. Blood Slaughter Massacre has been on Without a Box for 4 years now. I have not used Without a Box in 3 years. And it is still there. I cannot delete it. The closest I can do is replace the file with a blank file. It's the closest thing I can do, but I cannot remove it. There is also something in the Without a Box contract that they own a part of your movie.
So they get a percentage?
Yes and no. They don't actually get a percentage. They have the right to use your film, clips from your film, in any sort of commercial project of any type that they decide to use it for.
For now.
So technically, they're not going to. The whole purpose of it is so that they have the right to give your film to film festivals. So it gives them the right to be the middleman, and that's why it's worded that way. But technically, if the owners of Without a Box wanted to make a film out of the clips from all the films that have ever been submitted, they legally can do it because they own the rights to do so.
That's nice.
Yes.
Not really.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, Without a Box does own a part of your film forever. Keep that in mind when you use Without a Box. Without a Box also has higher fees than other websites for the film festivals.
That's the next thing I wanted to talk about was...
Yes. Film festivals pay a fee to be listed, and they pay a percentage of every submission fee that comes through. And Without a Box, apparently, I don't know, I'm not on the other side of that, but apparently Without a Box has the highest fees ever. But Without a Box also has the prestige of being IMDb. So film festivals like Sundance and South by Southwest are exclusively Without a Box.
Toronto International Film Festival too.
Are they still? Really?
TIFF is, yeah.
Okay. You cannot submit to the Big 5 or Big 7, however many there are.
Stitches and all those.
You cannot submit to them any way other than through Without a Box, which just shows the monopoly they had.
They still kind of have it.
No, they don't anymore. They got rid of. That's why because Film Freeway was not allowed. There was nobody. They were the only one. They did have a monopoly for a while.
Oh, okay.
They did, but now Film Freeway exists. There was some lawsuit that said no, you can't be proprietary of the only ones who can take money from film festival.
Because we do still fight monopolies a little bit in this country.
Yeah.
What I wanted to discuss...
I think it's actually owned by Amazon, Without a Box. I think Without a Box and IMDb, I think Amazon bought them.
Yeah, that's why IMDb is you can link onto Amazon.
Yes, yeah. That's what it was. Yeah. Oh. That's what created the monopoly, and that's what caused them to stop the monopoly. That's what they used that because IMDb bought Without a Box, and then Amazon bought that.
Okay.
Okay.
I see.
So technically,
I learned this too. So there you go.
If you want to go one step farther, as soon as you put your movie on Without a Box, Amazon owns it.
Wow.
Yeah.
How do you like them apples?
I don't. Anyway.
Yet we all want to get on Amazon.
Yeah. The big point. One of the big points we want to make with this show is you've made your movie.
Yes,
You're
back to
thinking
the
of
point.
film festivals. What most people don't think about, what I didn't think about when I first made my web series, because I did want to kind of shop it around a little bit. Film festivals cost an exceedingly amount of money in submissions.
And there's hidden fees
There is
to
hidden
everything
fees.
too.
Why
There's
don't you-
hidden expenses.
Why don't you explain
There's hidden
the
expenses.
hidden fees?
There's hidden
Yes.
expenses.
Because let's put it this way. I know South by Southwest. I know the programmer, and Timson is a big programmer.
Yep.
He works with Alamo Drafthouse, and he's a producer now. South by Southwest, if I recall, is over $100 per submission.
Something like it's about 90.
It might be 90 to
I don't know.
125.
I haven't even checked without a box. I don't know.
It's been a very long time since I've looked.
Yes.
It's
Okay, well,
been 2 or
first
3
off,
years.
the one thing to know is the closer you get to the final deadline, the more expensive things get.
Yes.
Yes, they have early bird and pre-early bird.
Yeah, so
and
if you are-
beat
if-
the worm and all kinds of
if you are trying
shit.
to if you are trying to stick to a budget,
Submit early.
submit as early as possible. If they already are on their extended deadline, don't bother. Don't bother. Do not bother.
You're looking at the most
submitting-
money.
Yes, forget even the most money. Okay? Most film festivals, they open about a year before the fest happens in order to give them plenty of time to watch the films. So they've been watching films over the course of the year for the most part. In theory, the truth is a lot of film festivals wait till the end.
Yeah.
You know, they end up watching them in a big crunch in the last like 3 or 4 months, and they have a bunch of people sitting there watching them.
The programmers,
Right?
yeah.
Yeah. You're hoping for that. You're kind of hoping that that's what happens.
They try to also spin the extended deadline to kind of say
See,
that.
here's the thing now. This is one another reason why I say don't even bother with the extended deadline. Because by the time they get the extended deadline, they've already begun that crunch of watching films. Because when you get to that extended deadline, they got like 2-3 months before the festival. So they're already in the middle of that crunch. There is a good chance anything that comes in that extended deadline
Will not be
might
seen.
not even be watched
Yeah.
You're literally going to have somebody who's been watching movies nonstop
for 3 months.
3 months. Some of them are going to be painful as hell.
Yeah.
And that is not the mindset.
You don't
really
want them
want your
watching.
film to be
no,
viewed.
you want them to see your film when it first comes
fresh
in. You want,
eyes.
yes,
Fresh
you want to be
eyes.
one of the first people that come in and give them a good impression
And
of
I
it.
You want a guaranteed spot if your movie makes the cut,
Mm-hmm.
so to speak.
And then I just want to point out it sounded very judgmental about the film festival
Yes.
programmers, but it really wasn't. I mean,
Yeah, we're not.
I
okay.
understand. They're human.
Let's
They
be
are
clear
human.
about that. Let's be clear about that. We are not shitting on film festivals here.
No.
I am not knocking them at all for
No.
what they do. They have a hell of a hard job. They have a long, grueling job, and they sit through a lot of nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't care unless you are one of the big 5, you are not banking on this. These film festivals do not come home with wads of cash in their pocket. They do not live off this for the rest of the year. They just don't. Unless you're Sundance or TIFF or one of the big festivals, most of the film festivals out there make just enough to run to pay
their venue.
to pay their venue, to
Feed their volunteers.
sometimes pay and feed their volunteers who are watching their films, and pay for the awards that they're going to give to the film festivals, and maybe have a little bit left over for advertising for the next festival.
Yeah, like the way the big 5 or big 6 or 7 make their money is because they're more film markets.
And they
deals
sell
get made, and
advertising.
they get a percentage, and they get a cut of
And they
those
sell
deals, and they
advertising.
sell
Oh, yeah.
advertising.
You
yeah.
go to you go to
There's
South by
sponsorships.
Yeah, you go to South by Southwest. There's Coca-Cola everywhere.
Oh yeah, yeah.
They sell sponsorships. These big corporations pay for these festivals because, like you said, they have that bit of a film market where they take over the entire town. Film markets will get into another. We'll just stop right there. They become film markets. Leave it at that. That's another huge thing.
But yeah, film festivals for the most part don't make money.
They don't.
Not a lot, anyway.
Yeah. So when you look at a film festival fee, and some of them are exorbitant, some of them are ridiculous. I've seen some festivals, it's their first year, and they're asking an $85 fee for the regular deadline. You're out of your mind.
Actually, I was going to submit to a new film festival that we all know is happening soon, and I won't mention it and they want a nice chunk of money for a submission. They want a nice... See, they're a first year. Actually, that's a good segue to get into first year film festivals and film festivals in general, what to avoid, what to go for with whatever type of movie you've made. But a forewarning...
First year film festivals can be a red flag.
Yeah, this is one that is a big...
good.
They can be good. They can be bad. But there's no established history with them.
Yeah.
And the one I'm talking about doesn't have an established history, and I'm kind of hesitant because the fee is very high. I wanted to vend at this one because it's local and the tables are kind of expensive, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
You know, because I only have DVDs of my web show that people can see for free. The only selling point I have is that the last episode, the season finale, is
on the
DVD
disc.
only, so people can see how it ends.
Well, we did that with Brain People, and we sold 90 copies.
Yeah.
Well, no, I have every intention.
I'm just saying, we did that, and we sold 90 copies the first weekend.
Yeah, I have every
90
intention of
DVDs.
doing that, but I'm just talking about this festival in general. Like, I'm probably going to do it still, but this is where the hesitation comes in of the first year. Yeah. There's film festivals that pay all this money for guests, and they're more like conventions than film festivals. And to be honest, I really think both should be split apart. Like Macabre Faire Film Festival in Long Island, where Theta States is premiering, that's a good film festival for genre because it's more about the movies than it is about...
Yeah.
They do have guests, but the guests and the vendors are very...
They have some guests.
small.
They have one room of vendors. They have Q&As and panels and stuff. There's a lot of stuff going on.
But it's more about the movies.
It is, yeah. Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
There's 4 or 5 rooms of just films, 150 movies playing over 3 days.
Yeah. So, I mean, when I think of film festival, I think of Macabre Faire Film Festival. When like South by Southwest is just a jumble. It's not really about, it's a spectacle more than it is a film festival.
Yeah.
Let's put it this way. I'll say early Sundance, it was more about the films. Now it's a market.
That's another thing with those big festivals, why I say don't bother.
Tribeca is a good example of it being commercial and still being more about the films.
Yeah.
Because there you go.
Those big festivals, unless it is a premiere, they're not even going to touch it. They're not even going to look at it.
Yeah.
They'll take your money and never watch it.
Fantasia is a decent big one.
What was the one I was looking at? Oh damn! It was a Canadian festival. Another big one.
Fantasia's in Canada.
It's not Fantasia though.
Yeah, Toronto International has a second one called the Toronto After Dark.
Yeah, no, but this wasn't a horror one. This was just another film festival, another big festival that I said, this is one that's worth entering, and it said unless it is a minimum.
Oh, North American.
NAFF.
Yeah.
North American.
North American premiere.
Yeah, unless it is a minimum of a North American premiere, they will not be looking at it. They'll take it into consideration if it's a Canadian premiere, but chances are they're still not going to watch it. They said, and it actually said on this thing, that doesn't mean we won't accept your film. We'll still consider your film. But know that unless it is a North American premiere, your chances are slim. So they're basically telling you, you can submit one movie, we'll take your money, but we're probably not going to watch it. I'll gladly take your money, but I'm not going to do anything for it.
So read the rules.
Read, please, as you go through these things.
Don't get click happy.
Yes.
Don't because it's so easy on Without a Box. It's
really
just a
is.
little click, and every one of those little clicks can add up.
I'm talking Film Freeway. I'm not even talking Without a
Film
Box.
Freeway,
I'm
whatever.
on Film Freeway now. And they add up. It adds up so much. Currently, right now, I'm submitting to festivals, and I'm being picky. So I'm right now. I'm on the higher end of the costs that I want to pay. Because there's a bunch of festivals that I wanted to make sure I got to them first, because they have prestige, they have a name behind them, they have history, and if we can get into it, then it means something.
It meets some of the goals that we set out for
the
Theta
goals we
States.
had for the film. Like, I wanted to get it in front of certain producers. Mm-hmm. Like you said, Ant Timpson is part of South by Southwest. Okay?
Yeah, you'd want him to see your film.
Exactly. I want him to see my film. I haven't sent to South by Southwest, but someone like that. I have a list
He's
of producers.
He's a big genre guy.
Precisely.
And Alamo Draft House is a great little...
Yeah, and he's part of
connection,
Alamo.
yeah.
Exactly. So if Alamo Drafthouse is running a film festival, I want to get it to them. So they are one of the first ones I'm submitting to because I want Aunt Timpson to see my movie.
Fantasia's a good checkpoint for Theta and any kind of genre.
Exactly. And
Fantasia's
that's
the
what
big
I'm looking at.
pinnacle
I
for
did
film
my
festivals,
research and
yeah.
I looked into what producers would be into the film that we're releasing. You know, who puts out these types of weird psychological thrillers? Who do horror movies, psychological horror movies? Who puts these out? Find those producers, find out, and do your research and find which film festivals they are involved in. And that's what I did. Or they even attend. They don't even have to, where do they go? This is the film festival what is their hometown film festival? And submit there first.
And
so
that's
that
just
you have a chance.
That's your prerogative. Say
Yes.
And just for this movie.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Say your movie's a vampire movie, or say you made a
Zombie. There's plenty of zombie-only film festivals.
Zombie-only film festival. Say you're a H.P. Lovecraft fan, and your first short film or your first film is, a retelling or your own version of H.P. Lovecraft.
The Lovecraft Film Festival.
H.P. Lovecraft Film Festival in California and Rhode Island. There's Necronomicon.
Yeah.
There's a niche film festival for just about any kind of horror film and even any kind of film in general. You make an action film. You got to.
We actually created an entire spreadsheet
of the film festivals,
of all the film festivals, and we can organize it because it's a spreadsheet by date, by week, by fees, by location, by any which way.
So as of right now, I'm in the higher end of the cost because I'm looking at the ones like, okay, I know this producer's here, this I need them to see my film.
But I got to ask you a question for the people listening. You're talking about higher end of cost.
Yeah.
Now, you went into Theta learning the mistake of blood slaughter, even though you had it in mind for blood slaughter. You factored costs of film festivals into the original budget before you started rolling cameras. That's a big mistake most people make.
Well, we actually did that for blood slaughter too. Yeah. We actually did factor in.
That's where your film education kicks up. That was one of the number one things my professors drilled into your brain is that you take 10% of your budget and you hide it away for post.
Yes.
So unbeknownst to him, even I kept it a complete
she actually
secret.
hid money.
I
from
hid
me.
money.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
hid
I would
10%.
not spend it for the film.
You have just coming from them and from me,
because I actually listened to somebody else telling me their mistake.
You need to save money for film festivals, not just post-production, because she's right about that also.
Marketing. 10% is marketing.
And post-production, not post-production, film festivals. Like if you want to try to show off your work and go somewhere with your filmmaking, film festivals are a big part of it. And on top of that, they cost. Yeah. Even if you're like, oh, this one's
I'll tell you cost. You've barely got. I'll tell you my costs in a minute. Go ahead.
You'll be like, oh, $50. That's not too bad. Oh, Sundance is only $250. Of course I'll make Sundance. So you spend the $250 for Sundance. They don't even look at your application, but they get your money.
Yep.
Then you spend the $50 and you're like, oh, I'll get into that one. They just take your money. They don't look at your movie. And then this happens about 10 more times and you're out like almost $1,000 and you haven't gotten a single acceptance yet. And then you're like, okay, well, I'm out $1,000 and I haven't gotten an acceptance. And you're like, I'll keep going. So you submit to some free ones. They never get in touch with you. You submit to more $25, $50 online only for free, blah, blah, blah. You've submitted to 100 film festivals at this point. You haven't gotten a single acceptance and you've spent about $3,000 or $4,000 and you're like, oh my God, where did all my money go? And then you finally get one that accepts your movie. And then you realize you've submitted to all these film festivals that don't even take a horror movie or a zombie movie or a drama or a ghost movie, whatever you made. And that goes to the homework and that goes to the cost. Like you have to figure out your target audience, A, B, what you want out of that, and hopefully the film festival sees that and your movie's good enough to fall in line with what they want to do. Yep. And on top of that, cost is super important. Like you have to save money. Like I have a quasi budget broken down for my first feature film that I'm working on right now. I already have the film festival budget on that. And like, you might not think of that now, or you'll be like, oh, I can worry about later. No, you need to worry about it now.
Because you don't know where's that money going to come from. Yeah. It took you so long to get this money now. Once it's done, where are you going to get money from then? It's going to be just as hard to get it.
Well, here's the other thing. Okay, you made it into that one film festival, and guess what? One of the rules is you can't win if you're not there.
Yeah, that happens too.
And say this film festival is in Japan. Then you say you live in the United States.
Why would you even submit to that? Because then
I'm
has
just
to be
saying
subtitled.
that. Say it was a free one.
Say you live in,
and it's your only submission, and you got in.
Yeah. Well, it's the type of thing like you live in Michigan and you submitted to a film festival in Florida, and you can only win you got in, you accepted, but you can only win an award if you're there in person in Florida. Now you got to find a way to get to Florida, because hell, I might win an award.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the point of going to these film festivals, is to win an award.
Here's the difference in film festivals, and I'll tell you, here's the difference in prices. Okay. With Blood Slaughter, I literally wanted to get it into as many festivals as is humanly possible. So I looked at a lot of cheap. I looked at the lowest cost festivals, free this, free that, $5 entry, $10 entry. Okay. And I submitted to about 150 festivals. And I spent almost $800.
And that's just cheap ones.
That's
and free
very
ones.
Yes, that's very cheap. There was a couple of $70 or $80 ones in there. Like I think New York Horror Fest was like $70 or so when I sent that in.
But we're New York City filmmakers.
Yes.
That make horror movies.
Yeah,
Hello.
So there was a couple big tickets in there, but for the most part, I was looking at cheap, get it out there. And out of 150 or so festivals that I submitted to, we got into 3.
Yep.
Granted, we won at all 3 of those.
Yeah, I'm looking at the awards above your head right now.
We actually won at all those. And the 4th one that wanted us, he loved the movie. His board refused to screen the film.
Oh, I remember
He
that
said, and he told the board, I don't care, I'm playing it. And then the theater said, we are not playing this movie.
NJ Horror Fest, short-lived.
Yes,
I liked that.
Yeah.
It was a gorgeous venue.
It was a great.
It was amazing seeing your movie in a movie theater.
So officially, Blood Slaughter Massacre was banned from a film festival.
Yes.
Okay, this is gonna go long.
Yeah.
We're gonna go longer than usual, but that's okay. This is a very important topic.
Yes.
Anyway,
so part two of this.
Now I'm at Theta States. And I'm submitting this to film festivals, okay? Now, I did about 150 film festivals, spent almost $800 on that. I've submitted to 13 festivals in the last 2 weeks, and that's all I've submitted to. I'm at 450 already.
Yeah.
Okay?
That's
why I said
13.
I'm on the other end now, going to very specific festivals, sending it to specific places because this is who I want to see it first.
Plus, these are festivals that might play the film, or you're catering towards
precisely. I'm catering toward them. There's only one festival that I actually went for the extended deadline because I need that guy to see this film. And I cannot not submit to them. Chances are they're probably not going to take it because it's an extended deadline. It was literally the 2 days before their final deadline.
Yeah.
I need it to go there. This was my plan from the very beginning. I knew the producer that deals with this festival and he attends there, and I wanted him. I feel like he can do something with our film, and he'll at least see the potential in it.
Yeah.
As of right now, I doubt he's going to see it, but I couldn't not.
You had to go for it.
I had to.
Sometimes you just have to go for it.
Sometimes you have to go for it. Like if you're making dramas, you have to submit to Sundance. You have to.
Yeah.
It is a prerequisite. Yeah. You have to. If you don't, then you're not. I still
you're
think it's
always going to
stupid.
question it.
You're always going to question. You need to do it. At least once before you say to yourself, "Well, that was really stupid. I'm never doing that again."
Yeah.
I say, it's stupid. It's stupid to submit to Sundance. It's dumb. But the truth is, you're a goddamn filmmaker, and this is what you're doing. You need to submit to the cream of the crop and see what they say. You need to have that moment of saying, well, at least we gave it a shot. You need that.
You have to try.
You have to try.
Even though I hate the word try, you have to do it.
Yes, you absolutely have to try. So So yes, again, we went from $150 at $800 to 13 festivals for $450. So film festivals can add up very, very fast. We have a larger budget this time for festivals than we did last time. Okay? Because we planned ahead. We knew what it cost last time. Yes, we learned from last time to put more money ahead and stop putting into the
I'm sorry, unfortunately,
the cheaper
sometimes
festivals.
the free film festivals, you kind of get what you pay for.
Some of them are free for a reason.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes, they don't even ever notify you one way or another.
Oh, man, I have a bunch of film festivals. I had a couple that I got notified like a year later.
Yeah.
I never got a notification as to whether I was accepted or not. There was another one we went back and forth with. One of our friends got accepted to a film festival. The next day they told him denied. Then then a couple hours later he was accepted again and then denied again, and then it went back and forth 3 or 4 times every day for the next 3 days. It's like somebody was just clicking the button on their side of Film Free and just screwing things up. And he had started promoting. He got into the festival. He started promoting for 2 or 3 days that his movie was playing at the festival. 3 days he gets denied. This actually happened to two of our friends.
Yeah.
To the same festival happened to them. And we actually screened at that festival. They took our movie, screened it. Couple days later, denied again, and then we ended up in the cut. Out of the 3 of us, our film stayed accepted, and our other two friends didn't. One of them, I told them, I was like, dude, just stop, just don't even bother, just let it go. It was a free entry.
Yeah.
Don't even give yourself a headache over it. Don't. My other friend lost his ever-loving mind, emailed them and got on their Facebook and just trolled the hell out of them. He was so upset about how unprofessional it is and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, you know what? It's not even worth it. It's annoying. It's upset. But again, I'm the guy who stayed in the festival.
Yeah, right?
Well, I mean,
I'm speaking from that side. Right? Well, my movie's still in it. What are you so upset about?
And then even we've had friends who have gotten accepted to a film festival the day before the film festival.
That happened to me.
It happened to me. It happened to us once. It was Thursday. They told us, hey, you're accepted to the film festival. You guys going to be here? When is the festival? This weekend. Are you kidding?
And you screen in the morning.
Yeah.
Also, this is another side of the coin. Once you become slightly established in your career as a filmmaker, later on, film festivals will ask you if you have anything you'd like to premiere at their film festival.
As you go on,
I was actually asked to. I mean, it was only a second year film festival, and it was more convention than film festival, but I was asked if I wanted to screen anything. So I mean, I did. I'm not tooting my own horn because you screen there too, and I mean other people screen. But it was nice. It was a nice feeling to be asked. Mm-hmm. So like once you get, and I'm not saying it's going to happen for everybody, but once you get to that pinnacle, you can hit the South by Southwest. You can get asked to do Fantasia. You're not going to get asked to do Sundance, but you are going to hit some of the bigger genre festivals if your work continues to grow. And like with Theta States, they are putting in and being picky, and say they get accepted to even 2 of these films. I know you got the one acceptance at the premiere. Say you get another one of the 13. Yeah. And you get it in the eyes of the producer.
These are my big tickets. I want them. And if I get into any of them, I will be extremely happy.
And then you have to put the cost in that you're most likely going to one of these 13. Absolutely. It's not like, say you get accepted to 4. You're probably going to want to go to all of them.
I'm going to try.
Yeah.
I'm going to try, If I got to drive to freaking Virginia or something, I'm going to try, because these are the big festivals. I really need to.
There's an actor.
Fortunately, they're all spread out. That's the thing. The better the festival is, the more aware they are of their surroundings.
Yeah.
A really good festival is not going to put on their festival within 3 weeks of Sundance if they're within 150 miles of it. It's not going to happen. They're just not, because they're going to realize, no, we can't compete with that. So don't even bother. Nobody's going to come here because they're saving their money and time to go there. It's the same thing with horror conventions and conventions in general. Nobody does a convention the same weekend as Comic-Con except for the idiots who do, and nobody shows up.
Yeah.
Which
We're not
happened.
gonna mention names,
Yeah.
but it's happened.
You know, really, if you are within 150 miles of Comic-Con, don't even think of doing an event if you're not part of Comic-Con. Don't even bother.
Yeah.
You know, it's the same thing. Sundance. If you are not part of Sundance and you're within 150 miles of it, do not do a film festival
no, there's
anywhere.
Slam
that,
Dance.
You say that, and Slam Dance is built on that.
Slam Dance is built on. You're right.
Yeah.
No, you know what? You're absolutely right. I'm wrong about it. You're right. Slam Dance is built on the people who were
got
rejected
by
from
Sundance.
Sundance.
But the funny thing is, even Slam Dance is too big for
and even
people
Slam
now.
Dance is too big for
Yeah.
us. I couldn't get into Slam Dance right now.
There was
So-
a third one, Trauma Dance, but they don't even do it on the weekend of Sundance either
No,
anymore.
Trauma Dance is like February or January.
Well, there's
Yeah,
trauma
that's
dances
it.
everywhere. They're all.
Oh yeah, they're in Chicago now. They're
Well, the
all over
main
place.
one is in New York.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that's funny. It's true. Slam Dance is based on the fact that we are near Sundance.
there's a couple
Yes,
of
there's-
exceptions.
But that was many years ago in a different time and space, and
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's exactly what it was. That was built by people who were tired of all these bigwig filmmakers coming into their town taking over, and them not even having an ability to be part of it.
Yeah.
Like the local filmmakers couldn't be part of the film festival that had thousands of film producers from around the world spending 2 weeks in their town. They couldn't even be part of it.
Yeah.
So they started their own damn revolutionary thing and turned into the same thing.
yeah.
Yep. Another thing about film festivals is this is kind of a bad story with a happy ending. There's an actor in Los Angeles named Pat Healy. Some of you might know him.
He's a great actor.
Great actor. He was in Compliance. He's been in a whole bunch of other movies.
Starry Eyes.
He did a film called Cheap Thrills a couple of years ago.
Awesome movie.
Movie just hit Netflix. It's been on, I think, Amazon for a little while. I bought it the day it was
I think it's
released.
actually off Netflix already.
No, they
went
just
up-
put it up.
It went up. It was up like 6 months ago.
Oh, I just saw it yesterday.
Oh, they put it back up then.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, Cheap Thrills is on Netflix and Amazon. The movie is dark, really dark. It's got known
Yeah.
actors
Couple
in
of
it.
known actors.
The movie was written by I forgot his name. The guy who worked for Charles Dance and Full Moon, Trent Haga.
Okay.
Trent Haga, he was Killjoy in 2 of the Killjoy movies. He wrote this movie Chop a couple years ago, or directed it. He wrote Cheap Thrills. Pat Healy went all over the world promoting this film.
Yep.
And I don't know what kind of deal he had with it, with the producer. I feel like we discussed this before about actors having back end.
Yeah.
I think he had back. Don't quote me on this. The way the story goes, he might have had back end because he went and traveled with the film and bankrupted himself. Yeah.
He went totally bankrupt
Going to film
just
festivals.
promoting this film. And this is Pat Healy. I'm telling you, if you've seen his face, you recognize him.
He's one of those guys.
Yes, he's one of those guys who's in. Oh, I know that guy from that movie. He's in The Innkeepers. You said
Cheap
Thrills, Starry Eyes,
Compliance.
This is just the 4 or 5 right off the top of our head. He's been in a ton of movies.
He's in a lot of indie and quasi horror-ish type movies. He's a great actor, great guy, and he went, like Manny said, he went broke promoting this film, going to film festivals, and he put up a T-shirt sale.
The artist who made that actually made it so he could sell it.
Yeah, and
Just so he could
got
make
a little bit
some
of money back.
so he could have some income, because he had nothing left, just promoting the hell out of this movie. And that movie's almost 3 years old at this point.
Yeah.
That it's just now getting out onto Netflix. It's been on Amazon for a while, but apparently hasn't made too much because, again, the guy's been broke.
Yeah, so that's why we say you
He's
really
been
need
selling
to factor
T-shirts
in,
off his Facebook page.
Yeah, you need to factor in these costs and the time and dedication, because here's the thing. Knowing Manny and Lindsay and what they went through with Blood Slaughter, that was 3 straight years of their lives.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Including, I'll be nice and say 4.
It's true.
It was 3 straight years of their lives. You have to live and breathe your film.
We started shooting it in 2012. Was when we wrote the
And the film
script.
cycle's finally
Got distribution. It was released in 2015.
We got distribution, and yes, it was finally released in 2015.
Yeah,
We wrote it.
The premiere was in
2012.
2014.
Yeah.
The premiere was 2014. And it was released 2015.
And yeah, that's another thing. Like once your movie,
By
say
the
your
time
movie
it was released, we were already in pre-production on our next feature.
Yeah.
We had already got money together for another feature, and we're ready to start. And we still haven't seen a dime from that. We have not made a single cent off of Blood Slaughter in profit. We've sold our DVDs, and they were just barely enough to cover the cost of the table we were working at. We had to buy for the weekend to sell them at. Which is another thing, especially when it comes to horror people. You all want to go to conventions and you all want to sell your movies at conventions, and that's beautiful. That's great. But remember, your convention
$250 for a table
is going to cost you between $150 to $300 for the table. So I know one convention is going to cost you $450 for a table. All right?
Yeah, that's
you're going to pay
Comic-Con.
anywhere. No. What are you kidding me?
Comic-Con is
Comic-Con is $900 minimum. Is the smallest.
Holy crap.
$900.
And that's
The
no electricity.
average-
That's like Artist Alley or something.
No, Artist Alley is like $650, and you
Okay.
have to be an artist.
Yeah. A comic book artist.
Comic-Con, the basic table is $1,200.
No thanks. But anyway,
Yes, it's $1,200. I think $900 is one of those like small, tiny nothing tables. Like that was the smallest one I saw. Was $900.
Also, say, to go along with your point about conventions and the costs of those, say you want more exposure and you live in like say you live in Los Angeles and you go to Days of the Dead out there. So you do that. It's $300 or $400 for a table. The hotel is another $300 for the whole weekend, plus food and booze if you drink, and
Gas
and
to drive
party
there.
gas.
Yep.
And then say you do great there and you make a smidge of profit. Say you sell your DVDs that you printed out for $20 each. Best case scenario, you're walking away with $200 or $300 profit after spending almost $700 or $800. So you get $1,000 back. Then you're like, oh man, I did really well. People are talking about my movie. I might get a distribution deal. I'm submitting to film festivals. I got accepted into a couple. Hey, Texas Frightmare's in a month or two. Days of the Dead is 2 months after that. Hey, let me hit these conventions and see if I can get into those and do the same thing. So
Every
then you're
single time
traveling
starting
to
another
Austin.
$800
Then
in
you're
them.
traveling
Yeah.
to Cincinnati. Say you want to do Monster Mania or Blood on the Beach in Virginia, New Jersey, or Maryland. You're going across country, and you're most likely going to have to drive. So you're putting wear and tear on your vehicle, or you have to rent a van. That's more money, and you have to print more DVDs. That's another $200 or $400 in DVDs. And say you do well, you have to print even more.
I calculated
So-
every time we did Monster Mania. Monster Mania was $350 for the table, or $300.
I think it was 300. Yeah.
300 for the table. It was another $300 to $400 for the hotel room, and then between the merchandise we brought with us, and this is within driving distance. Monster Mania is only less than a 2-hour drive away from us. Okay, and food for the weekend, it would cost us. I would say I would just even it out. I said $1,000 just to be there for the weekend. Just to be there. Costs us $600, $700 just to walk in the door between the table and the hotel room. Just to show up is $700. Now to actually sell something and survive for the 3 days, another $400.
On top of that, you have to factor in printing out DVDs.
Well, no, that's what I'm talking about. My merch, the merch. That's what I mean. Because I can't look at everything. I can't take into account every single DVD. Yes, sure. I go to the show with 150 DVDs in a box. I can't count every single one of those into every single show expense. Okay, because that's something called depreciation. Where eventually, you pay for them. We paid for them once already. All right. Now I can only factor into the cost of this show what I sold. It cost me, $1.50 for each DVD. That's a cost there. The other 25, 50 DVDs that sat in the box, I can't factor that into the cost. Otherwise, I'm going to be broke forever. because I will just keep refactoring it, and that's called fraud, ladies and gentlemen.
I think we're getting a little off topic here.
Yeah, a little bit, but this is still the point of marketing and making sure you have a budget beforehand.
Yeah,
Set
ultimately,
aside
that's
to
what
do
we're
that.
talking about. Yeah.
But I also wanted to bring something up before. I said something a little offhand. It's been bothering me ever since I said it.
Okay.
Earlier I made a joke about, well, the laurels. That's really the only reason you do the film festivals. And I want to do two points in regard to that. First off, that's definitely the mindset you walk into film festivals with,
Yes.
but it's not the one you walk out of.
No.
One of the biggest things that we've found with film festivals is the building of relationships. What you want to do is
absolutely
is get to know these film festival directors. You're going to want to network with people. That's what a film festival is about. And actually,
it's networking with everyone.
Yeah, and to be completely honest with you, what we found, because we did the lower end free kind of film festivals, unfortunately, our laurels, when it came to distribution, didn't even make it onto the DVD.
Yeah, they meant
nothing.
Because we
nobody's ever heard of them.
We won awards from festivals that didn't last another 2 years.
Yeah.
So by the time we got our distribution, they were like, "Well, what is this award from? This is from this film. Well, they don't exist anymore. They don't mean anything. It's not going to help me sell it. All it's going to do is clutter up your cover." That's all it's going to do. Besides the fact that low-level distributors don't care about putting laurels on the covers because it doesn't matter. Unless you won Sundance or TIFF or Sitges or whatever, or Cannes, unless you won that, your laurel's not getting on the cover of your DVD.
Not to mention the fact
A
that
distributor's not going to do it.
Saying that short
Because
I
it
was
means
talking
nothing
about,
to the average person.
No.
It means nothing.
Night of the Slasher. Say they sold that on DVD or Blu-ray. Which probably not going to happen.
They're going to have 75 laurels on the back.
No. Here's the thing about it. It goes with the laurels. It'll say winner 80 film festivals, and you won't see us, or you'll only see laurels of big ones, and only a few, and they'd be small.
And that's what ours looks like. When they finally put together our press kit for our DVDs and everything like that, it was winner. Best producing winner, or 4 wins.
Didn't say the names of what festivals they were. It just, this is what we won. I won best. I won best director from one website. I won. We got best producer. We're best this, best that. All right, we winner of 7 awards. 7 or 8 different.
Or there'll be super simple and be award winning film.
Yep.
And that's it.
Yeah. Well, that means nothing.
See,
everybody knows
it doesn't.
now.
Everybody's
once you
an award
get into
winner.
it, everyone's an award winner.
Everybody.
Yeah. But that made it into the kit.
Yeah.
For the people who are going to buy the DVD. For the sales agents put together a package, and they're the ones who said winner of this, winner of that, blah 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 blah. But it's not on the DVD. The distributor couldn't really.
No, it's in the blurb on a website.
Yeah, it's on a blurb on the website. When the sales agent takes it to the stores, it's part of their little this movie has 4 awards, and that's literally all you kind of get from it.
And that's it.
You need in finishing up, you need to factor a lot of these things in when you're making your film and submitting to festivals.
Yeah.
It's very
what do you want to do
everything.
with your movie?
Everything we've covered is pretty much what Manny just said. What you want to do with your film. Ultimately, your goal as a filmmaker. My goal is honestly, yes, money is nice. I'd like to do this for a living. That's my actual ultimate goal. But artistically, I want to make one of every kind of horror genre film there is. I don't really like zombie movies, but I'd like to still do one of my own kind of vampire film. I don't like rape revenge, but I have a script written, I would like to do that. So but I have to factor in film festivals as well, because that's ultimately part of the goal. If I want to be a filmmaker for a living, I have to think of film festivals. I have to get noticed, and
you have to meet people.
Yeah. You have, like Lindsay said, networking is huge.
That's a big part of it right there, is what you said earlier, is as you get on in your career, you start getting invited to film festivals.
Yes.
Now,
people ask you for premieres.
Yes. Now, here's the big part of that, though. Why are they asking you for a premiere? Why would a film festival ask you for a premiere at all? Why you specifically?
Because you become a draw at that point.
Because not just a draw, but a draw at that festival. because you've been there before. You've won awards from them before.
Might have gotten a distribution deal.
You might have gotten
it.
a distribution deal at that. You are an alumni of that festival, and you are one of their success stories. So they want you back to draw in other people to want to come to their festival. Okay? Now, that is a big part of this, is maintaining a relationship with the film festivals. Now, this sounds like that sellout nonsense of, oh, well, what do you mean? No, my movie's going to stand on its own. No, it's not.
They never do.
No, they never, ever, ever do. Because your film is one of 5,000 movies, maybe 1,000 even, maybe even just 1,000. Your movie's 1 in 1,000 entries that they are going to get. And I'm telling you, the cheaper their entry fee is, the more submissions they're getting. Okay? Sundance and all these other big festivals, they keep their submission fees high because they get less submissions that way. It thins out the herd of people like us who know we can't win it anyway. So it doesn't even waste their time.
On top of that, they want
the best of the best.
Yeah.
Exactly. They want somebody who has put aside $200 that he can put towards a thing. They want the best of the best. You know, it is a vetting process, and fine. I'm not going to hold that against them. But understand that the best way to get your films into film festivals is to create a relationship with the festival. You take your short films and you send them to certain festivals, send it all the time. If you got into it once, send them something the next year, anything. Even if they don't play, send it. Always submit them something, you know, and you create a rapport with them where they recognize you, they know your name, and you become a supporter of this festival, and they are happy to have you there. You become part of that festival. This isn't like, oh, I'm going in the back door and I'm getting some favors here.
They're not just going to play your film because you're friends.
Yeah, they're not going to play it just because you're friends. They played it in the first place before they knew who the hell you were.
Yeah.
They didn't know who you were.
We have friends who run
ago.
film festivals who wouldn't even play our stuff.
Now, I had one who offered me a screening. He offered me to have a screening at his festival for this film, and I waffled on it. I said, yeah, maybe, you know. But he also told me, he's like, okay, you can submit it here. You can give me the film, and I'll just screen it for you. But you can't be in competition. And I said, nope, not happening. And I went around, I submitted the fee, I paid the fee, and I submitted because I would rather be in competition. Rather than getting a free screening from a friend of mine, I'd rather his judges look at my film and tell me if it's good and bad and possibly win an award, rather than just getting a free screening. That is me building that relationship. Rather than just building our friendship here, I'm building a professional relationship with him now.
Yeah.
I'm supporting his festival by paying the fee. I could have gone right around it, and I decided not to. I said, no, I'm not doing it. No, I'm going to submit as everybody else. And he's like, well, you do realize that you might not get in then, that there's a chance the judges don't like it. Yep,
fine.
That's fine. That's part of the game. You know?
And it's funny too, because like, you know, I guess.
So again, I'm not taking favors you're not taking favors by making relationships with these people. You're just doing it the right way. They want people who are going to be part of this. You know, they don't want somebody who's asking for favors and asking for handouts, but they will remember over time those people who were there and supported from the beginning and helped them become the festival that they are, and promoted and pushed and brought their friends to it and got their screening. Come on, you get your film into a film festival and you get 50 of your friends to come see your movie. That's 50 tickets they just sold.
And that happens
with your
all
name.
the time.
And it happens all the time. That's how they make money, by selling tickets. That's how the show even exists. If you have your film there, you get 50 people to see it. They just made $10 each. They just made $500 on you alone.
Well, I mean, I think we should talk about this, actually.
We will.
Okay.
I just want to finish the sentence. You think that they're not going to remember that $500 or $5,000 they made off of your door, your ticket alone, when you have a movie that's got a big star in it? You think they're not going to remember that? You think they're not going to try? You're starting to get bigger. Yes, they're going to invite you back.
Yeah.
Of course they are, because you sold when you were nobody. You're going to sell now when you are somebody. Continue. Sorry.
I think that's
I was trying to get to that the whole time.
I really think it's an important point is, guess what, guys? You make it into your film festival, you submit your fees, you're very careful, you chose everybody, and you got accepted. Guess what now? Your job is to get butts in the seats.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's something that you didn't even think of.
That is part of your job.
That is part of your job.
Me being on street teams of bands I liked, I know that that's a big part of it.
The film festival has anywhere from 20 to 100 to 200 films to promote. Do you think they have the time and resources to promote your film individually?
Each and everything?
No.
No.
Each and every single film individually? No. Absolutely not. They do not have that. They don't have the capability of doing that. They just don't. They don't. They cannot. It can't physically be done.
And that's not to say that they don't have a following.
Of course, they have a following.
Of course, they have a following.
But they're selling their festival, not your movie.
Not your movie.
That's just how they sell the festival.
Just like with Theta premiering this week, I see that you can't invite anybody else to the premiere through Facebook.
Nope.
But you're doing everything you can to get people to watch the film. So yeah, like I have a little.
I'm asking friends of mine to share the event. I'm asking friends of mine to invite their friends to the event because I can't do it. Facebook has literally stopped me. I cannot add any more people to my guest list, and I've only got I've only have like 650 friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I can't even add all of them. I'm blocked from adding more people. I actually removed a few people because I knew I was like, okay, I know he's not coming. I know he's not coming. I know. And I took them off my invite list.
They live in Germany. Let's take them off.
Well, I didn't go that far. No, some people who I know who live nearby, but I know they're not coming out to the show.
Yeah.
I just know, like, okay, he can't get off work. Scott Perry, I know, is not coming because he can't get off work. All right, let me take him off my invite list. And I still cannot add more people.
I know, and then
I'm
beyond
blocked.
that, and guess what? You know, at this point, I think we've made the decision. We're having cards done, and now we're going to run around the film festival, and we're going to tell every single person that we see when our movie is playing. That we don't know.
Yeah.
And some that you do.
We'll just tell everybody, because you can never tell too many people, but just tell them when the movie is, what room it is, here's a card, here's the information.
At any film festival or convention you go to that shows films, you're going to see those flyers up. See this movie at 9:00, upper mezzanine. You know, like you'll see.
Someone actually said to me today that when we were talking about getting cards or not done, he said, as a film festival attendee, my opinion is
I appreciate it.
that cards, that one little card, and because I said I don't know because usually they end up in the garbage anyway. He said as an attendee, that card means those filmmakers care about whether you see their movie. Number one, they care enough to try to push to promote it. They cared enough to put some money into it. It's just like these people, any professional in any field will tell you the same thing. Any professional in any field will tell you this. If they get a business card from someone and they flip it over and they see Vistaprint on the back, that means that person got the free business cards. Don't do business with this person. Because it only costs $10 to get 500 business cards. If you can't invest $10 into your career, you are not worth working
Into
with.
how you're presenting yourself.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't even use Vistaprint.
Yeah. No, I mean I use Vistaprint.
It's fine, but for that kind of thing,
there's nothing. No, there's nothing wrong with Vistaprint. No, you can get 250 business cards for free from Vistaprint if you let them put Vistaprint on the back.
Oh no.
That's what we're saying. If you can't put $10 towards your own business card, you can't put that much effort into it. You're going to go get the free ones. You are not someone who is worth taking seriously. And it is the same thing with this. That's how he sees it. If your film is at a film festival and you can't be bothered to get yourself some little flyers for $10 or $20 worth of flyers just to hand out to people, let them know, hey, my movie is playing. You can't be bothered to do that. Then number one, your film is not worth watching because you don't care enough. If you're there.
Yeah.
If you can't make it, fine. It's on the other side of the country. You can't do it, you know? But if you're there and you're not actively promoting your movie, then you don't care if anybody should see it. So why should they? Yeah. And number two, he also said the other thing, which is what really stuck in my head, is As an attendee, you walk in and you get one sheet that has every film playing in every room and all the times. Okay?
Yep.
What's going to stand out in this sea of names? You're going to start saying to yourself, well, I want to go to this panel and I want to go there and I want to go there, and eventually through the course of the weekend you might make this movie, or maybe you'll pick one room and just sit in that room all weekend and just watch whatever movies are there. Like Macabre Faire specifically, I think, has 4 or 5 rooms. There are some people who pick a room and they just stay in that room all weekend rather than bouncing around. They watch everything there. How do you stand out? He's like, that card stands out to me. Now I get that card. It says the room. It says the name. I look at my program. I mark it off on my program. Oh, this looks interesting. Because amongst the 150 other films I don't have a card for. Why should I watch them? Let me go check this one out. The director just handed me this card and said, hey, my movie's playing tonight.
He personally invited you.
He personally was here, which means I can go watch his movie and he'll probably be there and I can talk to him.
And if I like it, I could ask questions and talk to him about it, talk to the producer.
And that's
about
what's stuck in my head, that this card in my hand takes my movie and makes it exceptional from the other sea of other names. And that's why we do cards.
Another hit or
people
miss
remember it.
Part of advertising for the whole subject on screenings and film festivals. Sometimes it's a hit because I've seen this happen before. Bringing actors and crew, if it's a local film festival, can help because Faces. We were at the Tom Ryan, actor in Theta States. He is also a filmmaker. He directed his first big feature film, and it was called Faces. We all went to the premiere like 2 years ago now. And one of the actresses, the film was rather good for a super low budget movie, like very, very, very low budget movie.
Yeah.
But he had this one girl who had a lot of she wasn't the best actress, but she had a lot of moxie, I'd say, on screen. She was excited to be in the movie. She brought that to her character. She brought 25 people for the 2 minutes she was in the movie. She brought 25 people.
She was so excited to be in the movie. She showed everybody.
Yes, so that's another part of the whole putting asses in seats. Sometimes it's good to bring actors in your film, and sometimes it's not, because sometimes you work with people who kind of ride your coattails. So you got to be kind of careful with that.
I don't care if they ride my coattails. Just fill my fucking seats.
No, that's the thing. They don't.
Yeah.
It's the opposite of the filling the asses with seats.
No, but I think the other thing is, too, you also actually have to, have a plan where this will hopefully not be your only screening. It will not be your only film festival. So,
well, you can't control that.
No,
you
but
can't control that.
At the same time, if an actor can't make it or whatever, get the next one. I mean, you kind of space things out a little bit as well. I mean, I don't know. I read that in a book somewhere.
Well, yes, there is that. And I say that too. Sometimes, okay, well, I really don't want everybody here, because then everybody locally is not going to show up to the other local screenings we have.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the better this one screening looks, the better it looks to the other festivals.
I mean, we're still figuring this out.
You had a premiere that had 120 seats in there, and there was 150 people standing in the room.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe we want to program them, because obviously, especially that's screened locally. That's more. They have a pretty big following locally. Maybe we want to program that film.
I mean, that's the other thing too.
Because
film festivals will research you.
Yes, they do. They absolutely do. And we've heard.
They will check your Facebook page. They will check the followers that you have. They will check out how much you push or promote things.
Yep, I've seen it on websites and other things where a lot of film festival directors will say the same thing. If you do not have a website at all for your film, you are not getting programmed, because you have no presence, you have no anything, and you cannot sell tickets. As much as and okay, they may love your movie and then they'll play it because of that. You may have no presence whatsoever and they might love it. They'll play it because it's a great film, But understand that you are an exception.
Yeah.
Chances are, a good reason why they may not have programmed you was simply because they didn't think that they could sell tickets for the time that you're there, especially if you're a feature. You have 90 minutes to 2 hours of a block of their valuable time that they need to fill seats in. They cannot have 2 hours of an empty room.
Some
And I've
film
seen that.
festivals-
I've
some-
seen that at festivals before.
Some film festivals ask the filmmakers if they're coming
Yep.
too.
I mean, that's
to add to that.
and that's one of the reasons some of them require that you cannot win if you are not there, because you're not selling tickets very well if you're not there.
Yeah. Well, again, that also depends on the festival too.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of them are just like that because they're little festivals and
No.
we'd rather give it to somebody who can make it.
No.
You know, so at least they're there.
That movie Gitchy, that clown movie that I find hilarious from around here, that movie gets screened so much without Tom, the director,
Yeah.
asking, just because of word of mouth.
Yeah.
That's another
and
thing
that's
that
what
could
you
happen.
want.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what you want. You want people to talk about your film.
That
you know?
that movie is a draw. Funny enough, like I have a shirt from that movie, and it's a short movie. But yeah, so I think we should.
I think
maybe wrap it up.
I think we've rambled.
covered everything.
I think no, we haven't, but I think we've rambled enough on this one for now.
Yeah.
We'll end this by letting you know Friday the 13th we will be at the Macabre Faire Film
All
Festival.
three of us will be
All
there.
three of us will be there. Me and you're there just Friday.
I might be going to Jen Valdez's premiere too. I don't know if it's the same night or not.
I think it's Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, I might be there Saturday also,
Okay.
but I might not stay.
Well, Lynn and I will be there all weekend.
But if you're local, it's a great film festival.
Like I mentioned
People
earlier,
from around the world come in for this film festival. We've met some amazing people, some great friends.
I made friends with Colin Artinian. He's from Canada. He's Canadian, and he's been at almost every Macabre Faire. I don't know if he's going to be there this weekend, but he's been at the last like 2 or 3. He drives down from Toronto.
Yeah, I met the people behind that zombie movie that's on Amazon Prime, 6 Survive the Night. The producer Senzing Femi, all the actors and
The
actresses.
director of Rose, we met him last time,
Yeah, he really did a really good
and
panel.
he did an
actually.
excellent panel.
Yeah, the director of Sick, either Ryan Andrews. I forget his last name, but he was a nice dude. I met him, a Canadian filmmaker. Did a movie with Jessica Cameron. A lot of people go to.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Macabre
filmmakers.
Faire.
A lot of filmmakers at Macabre Faire.
And when I wasn't kidding when I said that when I think of film festivals, pure like real for the movie film festivals, Macabre Faire is a big one.
So
And it started small, which is kind of funny. And
It did. It started off very
growing
small.
exponentially every year.
Started off very small. I think this is like the 5th or 6th year.
Yeah.
You know, and they are growing.
Yeah.
They're growing pretty big. You know,
So make
and
it if you can.
Come on down. We are in Ronkonkoma, New York, Friday the 13th through the 15th at the Clarion Hotel. Theta States premiering Friday night at 8:30 p.m. in room D.
Yes.
Yes. Either way, we'll be there. We'll be there all weekend. We are roasting Tom Ryan Friday night and Saturday
After
night
or before?
at midnight.
Oh, nice.
At midnight, there's an actual roast of Tom Ryan. Yes, the roast of Tom Ryan. At
The
some
roast
point,
of the Tom Ryan.
the Tom Ryan.
The roast
yes.
of the Tom Ryan.
And Saturday night is the awards premiere. Is the awards gala, excuse me, the red carpet
Red
gala
carpet
with
event.
with the awards ceremony. So you can get your tickets at macabrefairefilmfest.com or you can go to massgravepictures.com. We have a link at the top for them. And
All about that promotion.
it's all about that
Asses
promotion.
in the seats.
Yep. Subscribe to us on iTunes and again, hopefully Stitcher soon. And give us a rating and tell us what you think. For Filmmaking Sucks, I'm Manny.
I'm James.
I'm Lindsay. And any film festivals who are interested in Theta States, contact us at massgravepictures@gmail.com.
I swear they'll probably say yes. Probably.
I just took a
We'll
swing for the fences.
Maybe.
Yeah, why not?
Kind of, sort of.
All right, everybody, make your movies and be happy.